Hello guys, welcome back to Automation 24/7. So today I'm going to discuss regarding a very important and serious topic, and that is string immutable in Java, or like why is string immutable in Java. So it's a very common question asked in interviews for the Java developers, also for quality analysts, for automation engineers. So if you are giving interviews for Java or like learning Selenium with Java, so this is a very common thing you have to know. Like you need to clear this concept in your program, as well as when asked in interviews, you must be able to answer this clearly so that the interviewer will be satisfied with your answer, right? So what happens basically, and like what happens, why is string immutable in Java? So always try to explain these sort of things in code, and always try to explain diagrammatically to the interviewer so that the interviewer will be pleased. Okay, and also your concept will be clear to understand what exactly happens. Okay, and also if you will be clear enough what exactly is happening, like why is string immutable in Java. Okay, so string basically we all know a sequence of characters in Java. Okay, now what is immutable? Okay, so string class concept you guys know. So immutable here means modification. Like you cannot modify a string. Okay, yes, there are ways to immute, like to make a there are ways to make a string mutable, but in general case you just cannot, like anyone just cannot uh, do or make a string immutable, like make a string mutable. So strings are immutable in Java. Now how that happens, let's check in the code first. So as you can see, I just created a class string underscore immutable. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a string, say card, and let that be say Ertiga. Okay, so what happens basically, so this is what it is, string, like s, not str, like this card is a reference object with its value equal to Ertiga. Okay, so now what happens basically, if I go to the diagram, so whenever string gets created, so there are two types of memories, that is stack and heap. So stack basically is for storing the reference variables, like the reference variables like car2. Okay, so this reference variables, and the string values are stored in string constant pool, like scp. So string constant pool, which comes under the heap memory. So heap memory is responsible for storing the string values. Okay, so when I declared string card equals to Ertiga, so that time what happened, a variable card got stored in stack, and that maybe it got addressed to 101, and its value, like it got pointed to here Ertiga, so it got stored here, like the value Ertiga got stored in this string pool, which comes under the heap memory, and this variable card is pointing to the value Ertiga. Okay, so now let's check what happens. Suppose I'm creating another string car2, okay, equals to Ertiga. So what does that mean? It means here, so why I'm writing this here as comments, so what happens, you will be writing this, like whenever you will be explaining to the interviewer, you will be commenting this out, and while writing this, or like while commenting this using your keyboard, you can explain like what exactly is happening. Instead of verbally explaining, if you just write in this way, so the interviewer will be really pleased, right? So here what happens, here basically car 2 is not pointing to another string. It's not pointing to another string, but the car 2 variable or reference, I can say, is pointing to the previous string Ertiga. Okay. So what happens? This string car equals to Ertiga. So the reference variable under this address got created and it is pointing to the value Ertiga. And when I'm mentioning string car2 equals to Ertiga, so it's not that another Ertiga gets created here. This car2 equals to Ertiga means now this car2 is also pointing to Ertiga. Okay, so this car2 is also pointing to Ertiga. That is what this means. Okay, that is what it means. Okay, so if I try to print the value of the string now, and also the value of the second string, so see, both of the cases car1 and car2 is pointing to Ertiga. So whenever I'm creating the first reference variable and pointing to the string Ertiga, so this is what happens. And whenever I'm creating another string that also has the same string value as Ertiga, so what will happen, it will not create another string, but it will just look for the heap, like if any string value with the name Ertiga is there or not, and if it is there, it will just point to that. So both these reference variables are pointing to this Ertiga. Okay, pointing to this string value Ertiga, right? So what happened basically now? So due to this, we can consider string objects are like string objects in memory are immutable, right? Like this string object cannot be modified. Okay, it's like people might think, okay, car1 is pointing to Ertiga. Now if I do car2 equals to some Ertiga, that means something might be modified, like, but it's not like that. The value remains same in under this heap. Okay, it's like just the reference gets changed, like both the reference is pointing to the same value, so no modification happened here. It's not like Ertiga did not change to any other value. Okay, so this modification cannot be done, and that is why string is immutable in Java. Okay, so now suppose what I'm doing is I'm mentioning card equals to say tribal. Okay, card equals to tribal. So what does it happens? It creates a brand new value, and so the reference changes its value. Okay, so what happens now if I am declaring a value, say triber. Okay, so now what will happen, this will not be pointing, this will not be pointing anymore. So this car will now be pointing to driver. Okay, so it will not point to this Ertiga anymore. Okay, but it's not like that my Ertiga got changed. Like even if this car 2 I'm assigning to some other to some other new string value, it's not like my Ertiga will be changed. My Ertiga will be remaining in my memory. So what I'm trying to say, string objects in memory are immutable. That is why string are immutable in Java. Okay, so that is the thing. So if you are like assigning new values to the string reference, so the previous string values does not get modified, it remains in the memory, only the reference gets changed. Okay, so that is what string immutable is. So that is what string immutable is. So now if I am removing this value, so what happens, so here I need to write so Java does not modify the string object in memory. So that is what I said. With this example. So if new values I'm entering and assigning it to this reference value, so the other string values does not get modified, or that basically does not get immuted. Okay, so let me just remove this car equals to triber. So now let me show you one thing. So due to this immutability, what happens, so what happens, this if strings were immutable, right? So if strings were mutable, changing car, the value, would also change car 2, right? This might lead to unexpected behavior and bugs. Okay, so if strings were mutable, changing the value of car would also change car 2. So if I would have changed car 1, now car, this value, if I would have changed, suppose Ertiga would have been triber. Okay, and if strings were mutable, then what would happen, car 1 would have been changed, car 2 also I could have done something else. So that would be creating a mess, that would be creating a security concern, right? So due to both of these things, the strings are basically immutable in Java, right? So that is what basically says. So immutability ensures that once string is created, so these points I'm writing why, so that once you look into this in the code itself, it will be very easier for you to explain to the interviewer. And if you can write like this, the interviewer will be pleased. It might take some time, but the interviewer will be very pleased. So in immutability ensures once string is created, its content remains unchanged, right? So this is what string is immutable and why it is done like that. So that also I have shared. Okay, so what does string immutability means in Java? Now suppose I am going to create string car3 equals to new string. Okay, say here I am passing that same thing, Ertiga. So now what will happen for this case? For this case, what will happen? Okay, so for this case, what will happen is so into my heap. Okay, so what will happen, as this is new, so as because it's a new string, so what will happen, it will not refer to this shared string value. Okay, this is a shared string value, right? Like this shared string value, why it is shared string value, like why this article is a shared string value, because both these reference values are sharing the same string value. But as because string car3 equals to new string, so what will happen is basically a new string will be like, what will happen, there will be, suppose car3 I have mentioned, sorry car3, so this car3 will be pointing to here, say this is 201. Okay, I mean the address. Okay, so maybe this is the address 201. So this reference variable car3 got created in stack, and this is going to point to a new place under the heap. So it is not going to point to this shared string. So a new value or a new string will be created in the heap, not in the string constant pool, and this string which is not will not be created in the string constant pool, and this will be referenced by this car3. Okay, so this is not going to come, like this is not going to point to this article, it will point to this article. So whenever you are writing string car3 equals new article, so it will not be like car3 pointing here, but car3 will be pointing to here. Okay, so what will happen now if I am doing this? So this also I should write here, like Java will go ahead and create third variable under stack, and basically what will happen, it will not use the shared string value in SCP, but it will create a brand new object outside the string pool. Okay, so it will create a brand new object outside the string pool. Okay. Okay, so what happens basically is the string values, so the string values Ertiga, like this value is equals to this value, but not the memory location. Okay, the memory location for this Ertiga string value and this value is different. So how we will check that? Because this is being pointed, like this has a specific address location under string constant pool under heap, and that is pointed by both car1 and car2. But in case of car3, although the value is same, but it is a um, different address location. Okay, so both of these cases have different value. I mean different address but same value. Okay, so if I'm trying to do here, suppose system.out.println like car equals to car2. Okay, so if I'm trying to do that and I'm trying to copy it and do car1 is equals to car3, so let's check what happens. So what is happening is, first it is printing Ertiga. Why? Because of this. So this is printing the value of this car, and now it is printing the value of the second reference variable. So both of these are pointing to Ertiga. Fine. Now car is equals to car2. Yes, value of the string value pointing by object car is Ertiga. So is the value of reference variable car2, that is also Ertiga. So it's true. But in case of car equals to car3, it's not. Why? Because car3 is basically some different location and car is basically different. So that is why it is mentioning false. Like car3, as you can see, it is stored at a different location. Okay, so that is why it is taking as different. Okay, so if you are doing system.out.println and checking like this, so you will see like that is why this one is true. Okay, and this one is false. So both these are not equal, totally equal. Okay, because both of these memory locations are same, but in case of the last system.out.println statement, this is false. Okay, so I hope you guys understood how string immutability works, right? So this is basically the thing. It's nothing, not complex at all. So this is basically the reason why Java introduced like string is immutable, and how it works basically is this. Okay, so hopefully you guys understood. Thanks for watching, and I will be coming with more such explanation videos where I will be explaining in the code itself, because if you understand from the code, it will be very easier for the interviewer to understand that okay, this candidate is very much understanding properly. So I will be coming with more such Java videos, programs, automation videos, Selenium, tricks and tips in different things, shortcut tricks. So we'll be coming with more such videos, and please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share my videos in automation 24/7. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.